letters, one word, the meaning of life. Yeah. Let's get nasty. Previously on Kimba TV. You might actually want it to pump from here, leave that pour low, let the fucker take it, and then really dump it to 33. Sometimes when you're bearish, you want that pour low to get left behind, let it pump, and then it can shit. Yes! Ooh, wait! Bugatti boys, where we at? Where the Bugatti boys at? Quit playing with me. Where the Bugatti boys at? All right, let's do this. Let's do the damn thing, y'all. Happy Friday. Latuche, motherfucker, the math is the math. The math is the math. Twizzy Rich says, I was sleeping when 39.5 hit. Well, we were joking about it last night, but you had so many chances. If it ain't about the what? 88. Is everybody caught up on the YouTube highlights? Bitch, you can win. Turn up or turnip? Is everybody caught up on the highlights? You could probably just watch like the last 15 minutes, but yeah, I mean, we already talked about all this shit, so alrighty. Bugatti money. We talked about every single scenario. So, shwiggity. Malinois just gifted a sub. And then Alpeasy gifted 9. I see what you did there. Let me gift another 10. Match the energy. Shoutouts to Malinois. Shoutouts to Alpeasy. Alpeasy asking some amazing fucking questions this week. Untouched says Grayscale's outflow is less every day. Is it time to long? We've been talking about longing for a week and a half. Yeah, so Untouched, if you're asking about should we long, you're, I don't know, what would you say, chat? A week and a half behind? Yeah. Are you going to be the one to get freak out on me if I show a Gucci ass 39.7, 39.8 long? Uh-oh. I would probably start watching around January 18th for the long. Yeah, you're a little bit behind, Untouched. We've been trying to get into a long for about a week. Alrighty, Untouched. So start with maybe the January 17th or 18th highlights and just follow along. Let's see here. The way it is says, are you going to add? Most likely the way it is. Yeah, make sure you get caught up on the highlights and the plan. Can you show the single prints? Absolutely. But I would say that if you're asking to see single prints now, you're a little bit behind because I don't know how many times every day we started the day off with, make sure you have your levels identified. Value area high, value area low, volume based, TPO based, single prints, imbalances, untapped, naked point of controls. Right? Every day we start off by saying identify your levels of interest. These single prints have been here for weeks. So no one should really be asking, hey man, where are the single prints again? I mean, if you're like driving or doing something else, that's understandable, but you do know that these have been here for about 2 weeks, right? Bugatti! Essentially, it's all about if this, then this. Okay. So he said, what did he say? He just told us to be I'll kind of draw a little cheat code for you. That and that right there. I don't think this is enough to make higher high. Yesterday I talked about this and why that I feel like would give us the opportunity to do this. Options expirations, especially like the deribit ones, they really haven't been useful. So I will look at it once in a while, but like we talked about yesterday, the deribit options haven't been that useful. So I don't, max pain, biggest gamma, I wouldn't really look at it, to be honest. I haven't looked at it for the last 8 months. Kimba Bugatti says, what was the timestamp for that? Don't do that. Watch the whole thing, Kimba Bugatti. Because you're going to miss the other stuff that's relevant to that information. Watch the whole thing. Yep. The worst thing that you can do is actually be willing to watch the highlights, but then nitpick it. You know what I mean? The 12, 14-hour streams are condensed into 20 minutes. So there's no reason to try and nitpick the 20-minute highlight. You got to watch the whole thing, Kimba Bugatti, because you're going to miss other shit. And you're going to be asking other questions that indicate you just went to the timestamp. Let's get nasty, y'all. Who get nasty? Ladies and gentlemen, y'all know what it is? Y'all know what it is? Oh, the guy spoofed it at the last minute. I was too late. Let's go. The tooth-shaped motherfucker. The math is the math. Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. All right, ladies and gentlemen, happy Friday, y'all. We have 1,200 Bitcoin at 42,000. Y'all know what it is.
I said, are you strong? They said, I'm strong if you strong. I said,
we strong then. Let's get nasty, y'all. Merdus. Let's go. Tony Stark, let's go. Doms are just gifted 50. Oh! Let's get nasty, Domser. Domser just gifted 50 subs, y'all. Oh, wait! Let's get nasty. Who juicing? Who juicing? MinQ says, wow, I didn't get any of that because you're already a sub. MinQ. Giozati. A6. Let's go. Small Cat. Let's go. Sharon. Let's go. Molly Cuddle. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. Is everybody caught up on the highlight? Are there any lions that still don't know what the plan is? They don't know why we're pumping. They don't know what the fuck the next trade is. Exclamation YouTube. Quit playing with me. Sato's lick is 42,318. Oh my God. When did he get into this? Oh man. What happened? Sato. First off, I don't know if you should be rocking red hoodies all the time. I don't know if that's like foreshadowing. If I was him, I would only wear green. Yeah, if I was him, I would throw everything red. I would donate everything red I had. FIFA says the untapped TPO POC at 42.6 looks interesting together with all the volume there. I'm taking a shot if we get there. Nice reaction. Yup, and FIFA, guess what? We've been talking about it for the last 2-3 days. How long has that single print and put and control been there? Right? So we talked about it yesterday. We talked about it the day before. We talked about it the day before that. Volume, time, point of control, swing high, swing low, mathematical confluence as well. Yep. And what's really cool is, I mean, it was 3-4 days ago when a bunch of lions were already talking about, you know, hey, Kimba, instead of doing the traditional Kimba box like this, what do you think about doing a Kimba box like this? And, you know, people were bringing up the 886 level and, you know, including that for your limits. You know what I'm saying? I mean, look at that. You know what I'm saying? Not that difficult when you plan for it, talk about it. Gucci Magucci. I mean, is there a surprise that it's Pixel fucking the golden pocket right now? All sort of stuff that we talked about and anticipated for days in advance. Pretty cool, right? Captain Gary says, I know your plan was maybe to add to your short. You said you try at 45. Negative. Make sure you get caught up, Captain Gary. It's right in front of you. You're either watching the highlights or you're not. Okay? And what I would focus on if I were you is don't memorize what I say. Understand why I'm saying it, Captain Gary. So if you listen to me say, I might try a short at 45. Forget the 45 level. Listen to what the data that I would be looking at to know if there's a bearish edge there or not. Okay, but it's level by level. And so yeah, 45 is there, but do you the 45 level was dependent on if we grabbed this or this. So the first area of interest would be the single prints, the time point of control, and the volume point of control. So make sure you get caught up. It's right here. You see how we're watching this? This is like this. You know what the biggest thing is going to be? The most important thing, Lions? Weekly candle close. It's going to come down to weekly candle close. Can the weekly candle close stay above 40,000? So it's not really so much that you got to pivot. We knew here that we probably needed to start thinking about longing here, right? We didn't try to catch the knife. We let data come in. Once the data came in, put together a plan, got filled. If I hadn't pussied out and put my stop loss at break even and I just kept the original stop loss, the long would have never gotten stopped out. And so it actually, I don't know about if you have to pivot. For me, I just have to not get stopped out. But if you've been able to follow along, even though I'm not in a juice long, you know I'm juicing on that confidence. You know what I'm saying? So I think so far so good. You know, could we have? And last night, who was here last night? Who was part of the Kimba After Dark crowd? We were joking about, hey, who keeps trying this long? Who keeps trying this short? And I was like, yo, salute, because it's gonna pop off one way or another pretty soon here. So are we interpreting things correctly? I think we're doing pretty good. You know, for those of you that have been able to follow along from start to finish every single day, you see how I'm not really tripping? We had this on, when was this? January 23rd. So this was a Monday. This was a Tuesday. And then yesterday we had this. And we're almost at that single print, right? Holy fuck, look at that. Coming up on that single print, coming up on that point of control, coming up on the single print, coming up on point of control. Lorenzo says ETH BTC is getting nasty soon. Uh-oh. Oh. Hey, by the way, y'all, shout outs to people that have been here with me for the last year and a half waiting for this trend line to break. Shout outs to everybody, the more recent Lions that got to see the swing fail pattern. Shout outs to the new Lions. How many of y'all were like, what is he talking about that sweep level for? Shout outs to everybody that saw that sweep. Shout outs to everybody that saw the pixel perfect failed auction on that line. Schwaggada. Pixel. How many of y'all thought I was crazy when I was talking about it coming back to do a bullish retest on the Kimba box? How many of y'all were like, I don't know how long that's going to take. What the? Schwaggada. These are daily candle closes, ladies and gentlemen. You know what it is. You know what kind of 180 it can do. So we shall be patient. I would probably say that you might see me in a long, like an ETH long, sometime next week. I'm not going to take anything over the weekend. And my suspicions with this whole price move. So we talked about what to expect yesterday, right? The pump wouldn't really be that big of a deal. It would be the open interest, so how many shorts got squeezed, and what kind of volume and value do we create up here over the weekend. And I would actually anticipate some sort of bullish retest, what we basically talked about last night, to maybe happen over the weekend. I think you could see a full rotation all the way back here, and it wouldn't be bearish when we get there, and you certainly don't want to be like top longing. So is everybody like good on the plan and whatnot? Mario says, can you show Exo? There you go, brother. Ah, Mario. Here, let me zoom out a little bit so you can see. Is that a little bit better? Monthly open is at 42.3. Previous week point of control, 42.6. And you guys are, most of you guys are familiar with, hold on, I feel like I'm competing with the music. You guys are familiar with the previous day value area low, value area high, full rotation play, right? If you've had a chance to nerd out on that, then you know that you also have such a thing as a previous week value area high, previous week value area low, full rotation. You also have a previous month value area high, value area low, full rotation. And each one kind of has its own things. So, couple of interesting things coming up. The plan hasn't really changed, but we're just going to have to do our best and continue to watch the data. Laura Banda says, but your patience is awesome, still shorting that bitch. Well, yeah, if there's one thing that I wish I could do differently, what would it be, you think? Laura Banda? Because everything is literally pixel for pixel pretty much going to plan, right? So the one thing that I'm going to definitely have an opportunity to look back on and see what I want to do differently and improve is to not get stopped. Look at motherfucking Montage. You fucking... Let's go. Yeah, that's exactly it, Montage. I'm not tripping at all about this short. Tell me if you think I'm tripping about this short, Montage. For right or wrong, like, I'm not surprised about this pump, and I'm certainly not tripping about the short. But if I could go back and adapt, I mean, I knew pretty damn well that 38, 39, 40 was an area that I might need to start thinking about longing. We took a shot, right? And the only reason why I got stopped out is because I moved my stop loss to break even. If I kept the original stop loss, I would have never gotten stopped, and I would be juicing, right? So it coulda, shoulda, woulda, but that's okay. Satoshi Snitcher says, I wish I got that long. Yes, you're always gonna feel like you wish you could have taken that, or in my case, I didn't get stopped out. But in the grand scheme of things, okay, if you're gonna try to be successful at this, if you really want to juice, it's really just going to come down to, are you going to just try to get lucky once in a while, or do you want to feel like you know what the fuck you're doing? You know what I mean? And even though we didn't get the execution part exactly right, if you've been able to follow along with me from start to finish the last 2 weeks, have we been able to narrate this, interpret what's in front of us, like, pretty well? And so that, gives us confidence moving forward, and like I said, I'm not going to be blind to the fact that there is room for improvement, right? And I could have just kept this as such, right? I could have kept it like this as such, and I wouldn't have gotten stopped out for tiny profit here, but that's okay. You know what I mean? That's okay. And talk to me, Lions. We know what it could do. Right? We know what it has to do. And even if it did bounce on these, we also know that a failed auction is possible, which means that it has to get back above. And ultimately, it's about that higher high. So whether you take a long there, you know that that's your level of interest. You got single prints. You have TPO, value area high. Everybody Gucci? Let's fucking go! But yeah, I wish I didn't get stopped out, but that's okay. That's a coulda, shoulda, woulda. And to be honest with you, even if I went back in a time machine, I think 80, 90 times out of 100, I'm getting stopped out just because by principle, I don't like to go red on hedges. You know, I think the other way that I could look at it is, were there, you remember when we talked about like the hidden bull divergence? Maybe I could have put a little bit more credence into that. And of course, like if it does come down here and I see even a baby hidden bull div, I'm going to give it a little bit credence, right? Like if that's a hidden bull div, I'll probably pay attention to that. We got No Mercy says I did exactly the same thing. Let's go, baby. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Remember, what I do isn't necessarily the only way, and it certainly isn't the right way. It's just my way. Yes, like I think starting to close above here would be the first time where I would actually be like, oh, it's kind of bullish. Yeah, but what I would like is, I don't think this, based off of the open interest delta and the way that the CVD was building up, I don't think this is a like a good bottom. So, I'm not going to predict the future. I don't know if this is going to be resistance or not. We're going to have to, take a look. Obviously, you can see open interest is going up on this pump, so this is actually semi-bullish, right? But like this, like something like that, then I don't know what's going to happen here. So since that is left behind, yes, I think this is a little bit more probable than like this or this. Yeah. But who knows? You know what did you hear what I said earlier? You remember how the 40,150 level was a motherfucker? You know what would also make me bullish is if we have a weekly candle close on Sunday above 40,150. Okay. Or maybe even like this. Are you guys surprised? Can you guys all see this? Do you guys remember when we did this? Where is it rejecting? Math. Anyways, yeah, if you haven't, if you feel like you don't really know what I'm talking about, just try to rewind and then get caught up, or like don't try to chase the trade. Just start paying attention moving forward. Bob Covey, your patience is very contagious. I guess that's good, but for right or wrong, better or worse, for profit or a loss, take pieces that you like that I do, but also do your thing too, bro Toya. Love you, brother. So for a very long time, we were talking about shorting 48.49. And then around this time, and especially this was a weekend. We started talking about, okay, 38, 39, 40. We probably need to start thinking about longing, right? So it kind of depends on how much of like all my little rumblings you heard when we were talking about we might need to long this at this time. So, you know, because I'm sitting here thinking, man, I wish I didn't get stopped out on my long. But yeah, it's a hedge, but you know that we started talking about needing to long the 38, 39, and it could possibly go to what do we say? It could be the move to take us higher to like the 50s. So the thing that is still making me keep the short is, one, I don't think there's enough shorts trapped, and two, I think it's better to sweep the poor low, and then blast off to the 50s. I don't know if there's enough positions. I could like reverse engineer it, but I don't think there's enough shorts trapped to take us above 45 yet. So Coke Zero says, "Yup, got that. I grabbed that hedge long and closed that 42.2 and opened another short in another account." Nice, Coke Zero. Good shit. I'm hoping for a breakdown even more to the ultimate plan. If that happens, I'm moving to Tokyo. Nice, Jared. Domo arigato, Mr. Roboto. You know what I mean? Living Forest says, "What do you think about short at 41.1?" So what I would tell you, Living Forest, is not really about a random number. You got to give me what your edge is. So if you told me based off of this, this, and this, it would be a little bit easier for me to help you. But just a random number with, saying stop loss higher high. The only thing that I can tell you is if your reasoning is logical. The only thing that I can tell you is if you're interpreting the data correctly. But from there, you're going to have to take a risk, and you're going to have to figure out and ride the game of probabilities. So you got to tell me what your reasoning is, because then I can critique if it's something that is historically reliable or not. I can critique if it logically makes sense. If I would put the same amount of value and priority into the same variables that you are. Alrighty. Swap Bay. Shout out Swap Bay. Swap Bay says, "Close my long also at 42.2. Ooh, wait. Let's go. Marvel, let's go. Living Forest, let's go. Coca, let's go. Mango Eric gifted 5 subs. Shout out Mango Eric. I love mangoes, man. I love mango. Shout outs to Mango Eric. Mango Eric, how are you? We got to get an exclamation mangoes, I feel like. Wabi Sabi. Thank you for the resub, Wabi Sabi. Pyro Iluvatar says, "What's your hypothetical top after 50 for 2024? Assuming, so you have read like the Goldman Sachs, Bank of America, Merrill Lynch outcast for 2024, and you know that based off of their interpretation that there's going to be less interest rate hikes than what Jerome Powell has scheduled for. They are anticipating 5,000 to 5,100 for S&P top, right? I think maybe 52-ish, assuming that S&P really does top out somewhere between 5,000 and 5,100. And it also, I think, depends on how many interest rate hikes we have this year. So level to level, interest rate hike by interest rate hike. That's why FOMC next Wednesday is such a big deal for me. Okay, so you said I want to take a short at 42.1 golden pocket. For me, it's not golden pocket, so that would be a minus. A little bit of longs opened. Open interest goes up. Open interest going up is bullish, right? So it would be better to fade it. It would be better to counter it if this was all shorts being squeezed. There was shorts that got squeezed, but you also had a lot of open interest going up, indicating some bullishness on the move up. So that's also a negative. Living Forest. And then you said swing failure pattern, sweep level, 42.1. Again, I don't know what swing failure pattern you're talking about. The only level that I have is this one, 42.197, and then up here at 43.6. So do you want me to give you some cons now? First things first, you haven't grabbed single print. You also are pretty close to a naked point of control. Okay? And your fibs should look like this. So you went up. Maybe you might be trying to turn golden pocket into support, which would be bullish. Open interest going up is bullish too. But you have your volume point of control, your TPO point of control, your 75786, and single print still above you, above your 42.1. So some of the stuff you said, I couldn't really match up. You said 42.1 was golden pocket. It is not for me. You said you wanted to short because open interest went up. I would not. I would be shorting it if open interest was going down and the whole move up was a squeeze. And then if you're talking about the swing fail here, then what I mean, observation is not TA, right? So my question to you would be, how many times does a swing fail happen and front run a single print, and how long do they work for? Do they eventually get swept again because it goes and grabs the single print that's left behind? So observation wouldn't be TA. So if you wanted to go with it's a swing fail pattern, the question that you would need to be able to answer is when a swing fails over a weekend before a single print, does that single print get grabbed? Right? Otherwise, it's 50-50. Sounds good, Living Forest? That's the way that I would kind of break it down, brother. I love the thought processes, though. Roger that. Johan says, where do you know where to draw your fib lines? It goes left to right, swing high, swing low, or swing low, swing high. Sounds good. So it's just repetition, probably, Johan. Living Force says, Kimba, thanks for advice. Already canceled order. Well, let me tell you this, Living Forest. If, first things first, that is not bad. Is this good or bad for you, Living Forest? This is not bad. Okay, so if you were going to do a swing fail, you know that it can't lose what? So what was your position size going to be? Because let's do, so if you go 1, 2, 3, 4 on Kimba box, your average entry is usually right in front of 7.5. And so you're risking, brother, you're risking $108 per coin. That's borderline a free trade. So it wouldn't be wrong. Okay, Living Forest. I talk about this. Oh, you're saying 42.1 on this swing high, swing low. Okay. So what you would have wanted to tell me was you want to get in on the swing failure confirmation. You want to confirm because by not going over the golden pocket or having significant closes above the golden pocket, you are confirming that the swing is indeed good to go. That's not bad idea. Is there anything else? Is there anything else? And this is what I would also say, Living Forest, when we were doing this, did you plan for this or are you reacting to it as you saw it? So you got to be like, this is kind of concerning if you want to short, yeah? So there would be nothing wrong with doing that, getting filled, stop loss higher high, right? Imagine something like this. Okay, now what would you start doing? What would you start doing if you got filled and it started to do this? You would watch that, right? If it just goes, are you popping bottles yet? No, because you would watch that. And then you would be thinking of something like this, right? If you lost that level, what would be the next level of interest for you? You saw what I was when we drew this and we talked about it getting rejected at those single prints, okay? Last night. Do you remember what we talked about with this? So you could still take it, and that could be a potential TP. That could be a potential TP. That could be a potential TP. Maybe you're going to let 40% run. And what I would also say, Living Forest, is this is not going to be the first time you're going to see a sweep before a single print. So regardless of what happens, I think one of the most important things that you're able to remember and recall and use for future trades is what happens here. Regardless of what happens, does it swing fail and front run a single print, or does it actually go get it sometime? And is it just a matter of, okay, let's save it, grab 75786, let's go. So identify the levels, and then if that short actually ends up working, you would really only know if that short is going to hold if it makes that lower low, right? And that's pretty much it. So actually, Living Forest, that planning was pretty splendid, brother. The only thing that you just naturally are gonna have to compensate for is you might not be able to remember, or you don't have as many sample sizes of the single, like a sweep before a single print. Sounds good. But that's actually pretty brilliant, my guy. And then so that's where we are right now. So based off of that reply, do you have any follow-up questions? You know what would be really nice, brother, is if you could show me like a 4-hour hidden bear div. Ooh, right? But that could happen over the weekend as it crabs around here. Indertas says, wouldn't a hidden bull div be the better one if it has worked out, since there already was a chance of structure? Yeah, but where did we say we would like the hidden bull div? I kind of already talked about that. So remember how we talked about this? What if this is the hidden bull div? So yes, yeah, we did talk about that hidden bull div. But it's a hidden bull div is what? It's a higher low, right? That one would be the nicest. Okay. And again, that would mean that all of the single prints are grabbed, right? That means that the 75786 got tippity tapped. You could even go like this, to be honest. You could be doing this, and you could say, hey, man, that single print is pixel perfect right there. You could go this Big Daddy. So something like maybe even fake out, kind of like how it wicks out. Grab that 75786, grab that naked point of control, bounce off of volume, go. Hidden bull div. Is it starting to make sense? Endertas says, I meant on the ETH BTC chart, since you talked about a regular there. Okay, good question. I can address that too. What's the difference between a hidden divergence and a regular divergence? What's the difference between a hidden and a regular? I want you to nerd out on it. Don't just, regular is reversal. Yes. And hidden is continuation. Perfect. Yes. So what is the original trend? So whether it's here or whether it's here, I would want a regular. You could still take a hidden, but the only thing that you have that is telling you that the only bullish momentum is this. And so a lot of times what you're going to notice, especially if it can't break clear highs, is that the hidden bull div on something that hasn't really created structure yet all it could do is just take you back up to the golden pocket. So don't take my word for it. I want you to see it yourself, okay? But if the original trend is down, okay, this is the only bullish trend that you have, this move right here. So since it means that it's resuming this, all it might do is just go back to the golden pocket or 75786 again. Alrighty, but I would love a regular. I would love a regular bull div right there. Not only does it buy us more time with the VWAP going up, you can also completely reset the regular RSI, right? Give yourself more time on MACD to circle back around. Ladies and gentlemen, the saddest part of the day, you know what it is. Longers, I'm rooting for you. Matt, man, I see you. Ria Johnson, Kumano Kush, Kobe, Namgod, Satoshi, Snitcher, Fatula, TS Master, Ria Johnson, RK. Ladies and gentlemen, longers, I'm rooting for you. Shorters, I'm rooting for you. Bulls, bears, we're all lions. RK, thank you, brother. Fabricio, Beru, Zetus, Pedro, RG, Barjay, Cali, Bit Habby, Critter. Strong chance that I'm going to be streaming over the weekend, RG Bargy. So everybody enjoy your weekend as well. I need everybody's best next week. Wednesday, FOMC, long streamathon. All right. And we're also going to be doing like a 50, 70K giveaway, something like that. So be ready, y'all. All right. Bulls, bears, we're all lions, ladies and gentlemen. What a week, what a month, what a year. Holy shit. Let's get ready for the next week, y'all. Make sure you guys enjoy the weekend. Some of y'all truly grinding and hustling, really impressive. So, all right, y'all, have a great weekend. I'll probably see you guys over the weekend, though. Sounds good? Stay safe. The math is the math. Letuche, motherfucker. Love you guys. Peace.